Hello, everyone. It's Friday, the 17th of April, and we're back for our Q&A, our weekly Q&A. So I'm here, Nick Cuthbert from OK Student, and I'm joined by Martin again.
Hey guys, how are you? Another Friday, another Q&A. Beautiful sunny day. So yeah, let's get on with it.
Well, so really, we've covered a lot of news in the recent weeks, a lot of drama, a lot of changing situations. But really, we wanted to focus a little bit on questions we've had around what's in my control as a student. What things can I be doing now to prepare myself? Basically, what's the opportunity here as opposed to the negative? So we wanted to cover off some of those kind of questions that we had.
So what would be the first kind of bullet point you would give to a student, and what's one of the things that is in their control during that time now?
Well, I think all of us would say we have time. That's the first benefit of this situation, if you're going to look at it in that way. We all have a lot of time with still access to a lot of information to probably make more of a considered choice than ever before. So the fact you can connect to people online, the fact you can do your own research online, but there's no rush here. There feels like there's this big panic to get things sorted. But actually, we're in lockdown.
Definitely.
It's been extended 3 weeks more here in the UK, but 3-4 weeks in most other countries. And there's still a lot of time before we're supposed to be enrolling in the mainstream intakes in September. So you have plenty of time to do lots of research.
Definitely. I mean, I would say the second thing is kind of, I would tell students to look at opportunities rather than the hurdles or problems they might have. Because it's just they shouldn't waste their time of thinking that our exams are cancelled and there is so many problems now, but rather see all of the good things that come with it. As you said, they have all the time now. So what I've noticed is, and what you've discussed previously as well, is the online learning. There is tens of different free courses now that they can actually learn things from. I'll link the website down as well, but there is one website where there is I think 40, 50 different courses from Ivy League universities like Harvard and Yale, where you can learn different stuff. I know a couple of my friends are learning machine learning, coding from there now. Me myself, I started negotiations course at Yale a couple of weeks ago. I've done, I think, 2 or 3 first steps, but they're really good and well planned courses. I think mine lasts 4 weeks, and there is actual kind of assessments and stuff, and you get certification afterwards as well. And usually, I mean, these universities, they charge from a couple of hundreds to 6,000-7,000 pounds for these courses, but now they have given to us totally for free.
No, I would completely agree. There is some amazing opportunities to access things that would either be unavailable or expensive normally. So all of the online learning providers are trying to give access to their platform so that you get used to it, so you can see what it's like. All of the universities are also trying to make extra resources available, making kind of open door policies in terms of contacting, people with good knowledge. There's loads of chances to kind of improve yourself and basically learn things, expand either your knowledge of something or actually your understanding of what something is about. So if it's just about having a tester or a taster of a subject,
Mhm.
a great chance to see if that is something that you actually want to take further and study for, multiple years.
Yeah, definitely, like wonderful kind of opportunity to first of all get to know maybe yourself better as well, because doing that taster and maybe like realizing that's not something you thought it is, could save you actually a lot of trouble maybe next 3-4 years.
But I want to say as well that we focus a lot, me and you, we talk about personality types a lot. And, this is, some people are achievers. They want to learn, they get restless if they're not using their mind in that kind of way regularly. So they want to improve and to kind of occupy themselves in this way. Whereas other people, I think there's a huge pressure under this circumstance to say, are you getting those jobs done? Are you learning a new language? Are you doing all of those things? And actually, it's okay not to be doing that, to be dealing with it in your own way, to kind of use it as downtime or, kind of meditation time, those sorts of things. You need to look after your health in different ways. And yeah, there's a huge pressure to say, online learning's free. Like, you've got to learn everything, cram it in, or actually you're just watching Netflix. But that's okay. It's definitely okay for people to deal with it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, 150%. It's really good that you pointed it out and like kind of are balancing that bullet point, because I mean, at the same time on Netflix there is like tons of like documentaries that kind of are valuable in a different sense than a regular like online course. And what I was about to say was, yeah, I saw a meme or like funny tweet somewhere as well where they said that like, come on, it's like it's crisis, not like a productivity contest. So
Yeah, yeah. I think there is a lot of that. If you are taking a lot of social media, there is a huge pressure always to seem like you're achieving and that you're doing a lot and your life's perfect. And like, for some people, this has gone through the roof. It's kind of like some people are, yeah, really doing a lot in lockdown, whereas other people are just like, how can I do anything? This is an
yeah.
impossible situation. Um, so yeah, so there are opportunities there, definitely. Uh, and we're talking about things that can benefit you rather than things to be negative about.
Yeah.
I would extend that to the kind of university application process, the search process. That uh, there's going to be a lot of competition here. Universities are looking at the numbers they would normally have on an intake and trying to work out if they're going to meet those numbers in this crisis. And so that they're actually going to start really introducing from the next month big incentives to make sure that happens. So we're talking about amazing opportunities of flexibility around admissions, possibly being more flexible about your academic conditions or your language conditions, huge opportunities in terms of gaining scholarships, big discounts on your fees, maybe discounts on deposit payments, to allow students to be able to cope with the cost of education. Yeah. And all of these things are going to come. So this comes back to point one, which was time, taking your time, and point two, that you should see this as an opportunity, a huge opportunity to maybe access things that you wouldn't have normally got. But the fact that universities will start offering benefits to entice you to look at their institution.
Definitely, and it's really important to like kind of do your own research. And as you said, like as we have so much time now, like I think I would really suggest like go out there and like research different fundings that's possible, because within like my own 3-4 years of spent at university, like I kind of missed a lot of those kind of how do you call them, bursaries and funding opportunities. But I kind of learned that like some of my friends who were like constantly like looking out for them, they got like, crazy benefits from them. And like it's like,
I mean, education obviously is about the right choice for you and your career, but also where you want to live and your lifestyle. All of those things are a big factor, the most important factor. But you can hack the system. it's a competitive market, and you can look for opportunities, whether that's financial opportunities or whether it's how to access higher ranking institutions by hacking the system, looking at what universities are trying to recruit, and really positioning yourself either by waiting or applying at the right times to access those benefits. So if you're that kind of person and you want to look into those opportunities, get in touch with us, because we can kind of guide you through that. But there is more opportunities this year than ever before. So another reason to be excited about it.
Yep. Another thing that I've been thinking about lately, all the time, is the personal branding side, because obviously I work myself with branding and personal branding a lot as well, but I just see so much like opportunity for students to kind of stand out now. I think like all of those points, they tie together with the initial point that you had about the time. Like, it's just a time that, I don't know, like, try to stand out. Like one platform that has been very, very popular lately, especially on like personal branding rather than just being your CV, is LinkedIn. And more employers, people at university, they do look at LinkedIn now. And there is like a lot that you can do, rather than just having a good profile. I mean, if I, for example, if I was a student who would like to study fashion, I would probably go on LinkedIn, and there is a feature where you can publish articles. I would just write up an article, think of topic like three or five things that have changed in the fashion industry in the last 5 years, and then just talk about like my own interest and thoughts. And I think this is easily something that you can add to your application, just like a link to the article.
Yeah, a portfolio of work.
Or to the portfolio.
Your understanding of different topics. I mean, we have a real entrepreneurial spirit here in the company and in the community. And we use Medium to kind of share our thoughts on the blog system, and give a voice to both students and academics in that way. We use LinkedIn a lot, and LinkedIn allows us to look for entrepreneurial students who are looking to improve themselves and get opportunities, and then also to engage with different businesses relating to kind of the university sector. And this is the future, definitely. A good advice to all students would be that you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Lots of students want a secure route where they prepare for a career and go into a job. But I mean, look at the kind of global economy. There's a lot of things changing rapidly, and a lot of threats and opportunities there to that kind of thing of having a stable job for life. More and more, I meet students who would traditionally have been art students in innovation, who want to come up with an idea and then have another idea and keep hustling different ideas and income streams. But now we're seeing that's much more appropriate for many, many students to have different projects, different areas of expertise. And a lot of that is related to their own personal branding. So being able to say, I can contribute to this business in this way, and then I can contribute to this business in this way. And now is the perfect time. Everybody's online, and you can start to prepare that community, that form of communication. And there's a million platforms to do it. And you're absolutely right. It helps with application, but it also helps prepare you for different ways of generating income, and knowledge and leverage and connections that are just going to help your career for the future that we don't really know about.
Yeah, and I think there is two things in here. Like firstly, I would say that it's just so important to remember that, especially when you're looking for, like, of course, like a university place, but like a job as well, is that like people hire people, not necessarily skills these days anymore, because skills have kind of become more and more like, how do you, not basic, but like skills are skills. Skills are always possible to be developed, and you can always get better at something. But what I mean, at least what we are looking when we're hiring people is that we're looking for the personality. And the more you can show your personality through, I would even say like LinkedIn, the 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 more highly likely it is that you'll get more chances.
Yeah, and there's also something with skills and technical skills, which are obviously very valuable. Um, but there is also a lot of currency in emotional skills, in understanding people and being able to communicate. And we've seen that even with our own kind of communications channels, that factual things get a certain response, but emotional content gets a huge response because people want to relate to it. So everybody has that in them. Everybody can share their story, and you don't have to be, you know, have all the knowledge about very specific skills and content to be valuable. People, value your opinion and value your emotional response to things.
Yeah, all the time. Like people quite often, especially like younger students, they ask. I mean, people have asked me like, I'm 20 and I have had like maybe like 2 jobs like and a couple of internships. Like, what can I tell people? The only thing that you can tell people all the time is your kind of story. Like, tell your journey. Like, you can talk to like how did you find that internship, or like what are the 2 things that you learned over there, and like how did you put them into practice. It's more about like kind of documenting than creating. I know like one of the entrepreneurs is talking about that a lot. Is like, just document your journey and tell how you are trying to get to be that social media strategist or fashion buyer or engineer or whatever. Yeah, so that's I think really helpful hack to unlock the kind of telling your own story.
Yeah, and this whole situation, I think, has reminded me particularly, but of that we're social animals. We want to be connected to people. We want to share our experiences, and and yeah, it's important to our own health. But we're all on the same journey through life and love and careers, and so you kind of need to help people along in different parts. Everybody's on a different stage of that. So yeah, uh, kind of bringing it back to what we were talking about, like your own personal story, but your own personal branding can be worked on at this stage, and that building that portfolio of being able to communicate or add value in that way is essential to so many industries now. But the way this whole thing is going is that in a future that looks like this, that with more online communications, global marketplaces, it more important than ever. So what a great time to develop that.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm going to add another one in, actually. I'm going for another point, and this is about resilience. I think it's amazing what people are coping with at the moment. There's a lot of stress involved in this situation, and a lot of students particularly are either isolating on their own, in student accommodation, or they are isolating in a family unit that they're not necessarily used to being so embedded in all the time. So, spending a lot of times in their bedrooms or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that comes with a lot of changes and stress, but what's coming out of that as a benefit is we're seeing people's resilience. Do you feel that?
Yeah, definitely. I find like, yeah, resilience is kind of like the muscle. Like, you need to put in the reps to kind of become a resilient. And I think especially like our age, like we haven't gone through like any recessions or like bad times or any crises yet. And I think it will kind of grow everyone personally as well, because everyone has to deal with the situation. And yeah, people like learn to value like freedom and easy at times way much more. And of course they'll become more resilient as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
it's like working out. Like, you have to put in the reps, and the more you go through those tough times, the more you grow as a person.
And if you consume the news, there's a lot to be afraid of. That's what it feels like. That's what it's telling you. But if you actually put that down and say, what are we all afraid of? Getting ill, and then maybe kind of financial problems, and that then mean that we can't do the things that we want to do. Once you start putting those things down, a lot of that is still in your control. You can put in measures to cope with that, to say, I can reasonably say I'm doing a good job. And actually then you start to think about the opportunities. Yeah. How are you going to prepare for when we come out of this? What state are you going to be in? What things have we done to make ourselves more resilient to this situation? And I think that again is a big benefit. People haven't been tested in this way, so you should be very proud of feeling that way.
Definitely.
Of having the time to build that up. Cool.
Awesome.
This took a very kind of philosophical route. It's different to other weeks.
Yeah, I was almost, I'll add it in. I was thinking whether to say it or not, but like on a philosophical level and going deeper and deeper now, I think, as you mentioned, that people are scared of the health and kind of the whole crisis. But I'm kind of thinking that a lot of people find out that they are scared of more like deeper and philosophical things, like being alone and being by themselves, figuring out more about themselves, about their families, their friends who are there together with all the time. So there is like many things on a deeper level, I think, that people are kind of maybe not scared of, but like that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. People are having to spend time in their own company, and find out a bit more about who they are. They can't distract themselves so easily.
Should we finish with that nice thought?
Yeah, let's finish with that. But we didn't really cover too many questions, but we're doing live Q&As now. We're doing on Instagram. We're fielding a lot of questions still on email, and we're expecting a lot more news to come out relating to the response from the sector and universities individually as they put in measures to help people come to university. So there's going to be a lot more kind of news related things coming out very, very soon. So keep tuning in and we'll try and keep explaining it.
Yeah, awesome. Marketing team is working like crazy, as you said, to put out latest news, informational content, educational content. Our advisors are busy literally every day helping students, WhatsApping them, calling them. As you said, we have Q&A session on our Instagram. I'm not sure if this airs before 2 p.m., probably not, but our advisors are live at 2 p.m. answering people's questions live. So hustle.
But just to reiterate, because people don't believe it, all of these people in marketing and in advising are all students. It's only me that's not a student here. So they're all giving genuine advice and all care about your situations, because they've been through it. So they're doing a great job. I'm really proud of the work they're doing.
Cool. So follow us on OK Student everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Medium, LinkedIn, all of the social channels that probably exist.
We're everywhere now.
World domination.
No, I love it. I love the fact we can reach people and talk to people. So it's great.
Awesome.
Right, okay. So until next week or on a different channel.
See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.